We're at the National Hardware Show 2015 looking at a lot of the cool new things here at the show, and that brought us to the Bilt booth, and we are looking at probably one of the coolest tillers I think I've seen today. This is pretty awesome, and I've got Chuck here to tell us more about this. Chuck, there's technology here, and I hear you're the man who helped create this. Tell us more about it.
Well, I was lucky. I was the product manager on the team that developed this product, and what we did is we looked at traditional tillers, and we got tiller users together and said, tell us what your ideal tiller would be. And they said, we don't want the bucking, we don't want the jumping, we don't want all the vibration. It has the bulletproof Bilt 208cc engine, powering a Bilt transmission. It is our cast iron with bronze gear transmission that has a limited lifetime warranty on it. That drives new sets of tines. Traditional tines tend to chop at the earth.
Yep.
This is like an egg beater. It shaves at the earth. Let me show you from behind here what it does. Here's what's new about the product. These are vertical tines. Instead of regular tines that chop the earth, this shaves its way through. These tines are serrated, heat-treated steel. They'll go 6.5 inches deep. They will make 95% of all soil seed plantable in just one pass. You no longer have to crisscross over your garden or do it 3 or 4 times to get the soil the consistency you want. When you have grass, if you're breaking new ground, it literally strips the dirt off the roots of the grass. You just rake the grass out of the way and your garden is ready to plant.
Chuck, how is that for getting into like really compacted soil? Because I know my mother-in-law, when she's tilling, I get to hear about that every spring of how hard her garden is.
Well, this, like we said, will do 95% of your soils in one pass. If you've got like a heavy clay component, you may have to make a second pass in it, but because of the way it shaves the dirt, it makes it almost like a sawdust consistency. It's really incredible what it can do.
Very neat.
The tines overlap, unlike traditional tines where you have the bracket coming down holding the transmission or holding the shaft down.
Yep.
So there's no untilled soil, and the nice part about it is because it's not chopping and hacking, as you will, at the dirt. No jumping, no bucking, no vibration. The tines are timed to the tires, so the wheels aren't spinning and slipping. It makes for an overall much more enjoyable gardening experience.
Now, does this go through the soil at slower than or faster than a traditional?
This goes through the soil slower than a traditional tiller. It runs at about half the speed of a traditional tiller. But if you took that garden and did it with a traditional tiller and did it with this tiller, when you take into account all the wheel slip and all the having to do it twice, you're way ahead with this one.
Oh, for sure. For sure, and just getting a much finer product at the end.
And you get it's ready to go. I mean, it's seed plantable. It's wonderful soil, the way it works it.
Now, are the controls any different than a traditional rear tine tiller?
The controls are a little different. We have our hand grips here. You can do it one-handed, like all Bilt tillers. This engages the tines, so the tines will auger down in and get working, and then you engage the transmission and it'll take off. So you kind of dig it down in and then start it heading through the garden. It's really great. The other neat thing I like about it is we have a remote on-off switch here, so you don't have to go down to a hot engine to shut it off. You just hit the button and it's off.
Very nice.
This unit features a power reverse. So if you say you hit a big clump of clay and you want to back up real quick, this will back it up, and then you can just re-engage and run forward right through it again.
Now, Chuck, price-wise, how does this compare to a traditional rear tine tiller?
Well, with the new technology here, and you have a lot more working down here for you, it is a little bit more expensive than a traditional tiller.
But it's pretty close to the...
It's pretty close.
Yeah, very nice. If people would like to find out more information, where can they go?
Our entire tiller line is available at troybilt.com.
That sounds great. We are at the National Hardware Show.